Okay, here we go.
What is up? Welcome to the Geek Cast. I'm your host, Toby. I'm taking over.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 24 of the Geek Cast. I am Bobby, the Geek Guru, joined once again by my good friend in England.
Yeah, England with my cupboards.
Come on, that was good. Toby, what's up today? How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Bobby. How are you?
I am very good, very good.
Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a week.
Yeah, it's been a while, right?
It's been a long time.
A long week. And you didn't join us for our spoiler cast.
No, it's true.
Did you check that out at all or no?
Not yet. Oh, I'm planning on.
You need to, because there's some answers to some questions that you.
Well, I read some articles. I read some articles the other day about some of the that stormtrooper with. Don't want to spoil it, but there's a stormtrooper, and there's what's his backstory? Apparently, on the day the film came out, a couple of these books came out as well that will give you a little bit of extra backstory to some of the characters. So I was reading up about that. So
that's good stuff. We're not joined by Alan because he is a slacker. I'm going to be hard on him right now. He's a slacker. He knew we were recording, but he decided to stay with Amy. So Amy is the Yoko Ono of the Geek Cast. She's destroying us.
Exactly. She's pulling us apart.
Exactly.
Alan was like, "Oh, are we recording? I won't be home till 3, which is like an hour's time. I had to have a nap."
And you said the stuff last night.
Yeah, I know.
You were questioning last night. You were like, "Hey, we're doing this tomorrow at 2:00," and I was like, "Yeah." And I told you what we're talking about, and then he just decides to mosey in 5 minutes before we start to record. Like, "Oh, I can't. My vajayjay's out of whack right now."
Yeah.
So, okay. So we've kicked this episode off with some Alan bashing, but we're gonna now kick it off with our geek outs. Toby, have you figured out what you're geeking out about yet?
Well, yeah, I was struggling a bit. Sitting there racking my brains, and all I can really say is that for Christmas I got a couple of Blu-rays. I got the Mission Impossible Blu-ray, the collection of all the Mission Impossibles on Blu-ray.
Wow. Is that included the new one?
Yep. Okay. So I watched Rogue Nation, which is the new one, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. The formula is getting a little bit repetitive now for me. Mm-hmm. Every film's sort of just a rehash of the same thing, but it was still entertaining. It's still Tom Cruise, still love him.
Yeah, and he does some crazy stuff in that movie.
Yeah, he does.
And some people don't know, but he does a lot of his own stunts.
He does,
so,
yeah.
The hanging out the plane and all that. He'd be like, "I'm doing this." He's insane.
Also got the Mad Max Fury Road film on DVD and watched that. That was much better than I thought it was going to be. I saw the trailers and I was like, I'm not sure, but everyone's saying it's the best action movie of the year and everything. So, and it's just a really weird film. It's it's shot in a strange way. It looks like it's sort of sped up. Mm-hmm. They might be cutting out every other frame and then just sort of speeding it up because everything's kind of weird looking, but it suits the film. It's a very weird film, weird sort of characters, post-apocalyptic world and that. And there was that Mad Max game that came out.
Yes.
I don't know, it was a few months ago, but at the time I wasn't really interested in it. But now I've watched the Blu-ray, I'd be quite interested to play that.
I'm interested in seeing that movie just because I'm a huge fan of Tom Hardy. That dude's an animal, man. He is such a good actor.
He is so good. And the weird thing is, there's not a lot of dialogue in the film, really. And everyone's kind of got a gruff voice. He doesn't really say a lot, but it's kind of a little grunts, it sounds like, but it's still good.
Yeah. Myself, I am geeking out about something I'm about to do in an hour or so, give or take. I'm actually going amiibo hunting today, and I'm going with Andrew, my nephew. He just recently started collecting amiibo, so he's it's a bad time. Yeah, a lot of catching up to do. So I actually gave him all of the Pokemon amiibo, except for Jigglypuff. That's the only one that I couldn't get my hands on to give him. But all the rest of them, Mewtwo, Greninja, all of them. He's picked up a few on his own. So myself and Miguel are going to go with him, kind of show him the ropes, show him what, give him some tips, all that stuff. But we're going to film it and record it all. So it should be interesting.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'd be interested to see what's if there's any that are hard to find now, because
and that's what's got me a little peaked. Myself, because I have all the amiibo. Thank God. I'm actually going for some Disney Infinity stuff. So more or less, like, as far as I did buy Disney Infinity 3. As far as the Star Wars stuff, I went Han Solo. Probably get Chewbacca, Yoda.
Who have you got already then?
I've got Kylo Ren, Darth Vader, and then I got the dual pack with Lois. I was going to say Lois Lane. With Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker.
Is it old Leia or young Leia?
It's young Leia. It's like when she's in this. It's from A New Hope when she gets captured and she's in a white dress. It's that one. So I'm really looking forward to those. I haven't even played the game yet because I've been wrapped up with other stuff. And then I also want to buy the Hulkbuster Iron Man one because he's awesome. I do like the Disney Infinity a lot. I think the style of them is just really cool. I think Disney does a good job with them. I like them a lot.
Yeah, I was in a game shop the other day and Karina was like, "So you've got all the amiibo?" And we've already collected a couple of Disney Infinity characters. We haven't got the game. We just like the figures.
Yeah.
And we was looking at the quality of them, and when you compare them to like Skylanders, I think Skylanders are much more for like children. They're all for children anyway, but the actual build quality on the Skylanders isn't quite as good. So I'd say like it'd go Skylanders, then Disney Infinity, then Amiibo, but actually Disney Infinity have got a lot of cool poses in comparison, and especially at the bases are very interesting.
And that's what I was trying to say to you guys before about with the Wolf Link amiibo. Like the way Disney Infinity does their bases, they have the clear plastic on the very, very bottom, and that's where the reader is and all that stuff. I wish that Nintendo would have done something similar with Wolf Link, because they have the NFC reader. The NFC chip is really small, so it's thick.
They don't need that thick base.
Yeah, so that regular, the circular base, they could have eliminated, and they could have put a mountain piece, like I said, and then had something maybe, or just built the NFC chip into the mountain. But I feel like that's where Disney Infinity is really cool because those bases tie into the whole thing, and.
Do you think like when Nintendo was building Amiibo, because they I think they've pictured it like these are all going to be Smash figures. We'll see how popular it is, but the bases have got the little Smash logo on it, and maybe like they designed it around that, and they didn't think it was going to blow up as much as it did, because they're sort of constrained now by that little disc, and like even like the Animal Crossing ones have got like the grass on the base and that, But you can tell like they want to add things like that, because even the Chibi Robo ones looks different, but they're still constrained to the size and the shape of that base because they want like everything to look.
They want everything to be uniform, and I get that, and that's fine. But at the same time, I got the reason for the circle for the Smash because they're on the coin. They're on the Smash coin. Yeah, that I get. That I'm cool with. I understand that. The Animal Crossing ones, they're cool because they have the grass piece. But like you said, with the Chibi Robo, it didn't have to be circular. They could have put them on something. They could have put them on a bottle cap. You know what I mean? Like they could have done something that correlates with the game, And I feel like that's where they need to start making some changes and with the future versions. So the idea is, I want to get him out there. I want to get him and show him some stuff. And I figure with me and Miguel, it'd be kind of fun too because Miguel's got them all. I got them all. The one thing I don't think he does, which I need to get him to start doing if he wants to get these, because he thinks he could just walk into stores and get them, and it's not that way. Like you got to get a credit card, debit card, something like even if it's a prepaid credit card, or you just put cash on it and keep $50 on it or something for when when pre-orders go up, because that's the only guarantee is a pre-order. Now things are a little bit more subdued, where you can actually walk into a store the day of launch and get it, but you got to go that day. If you hesitate at all, you're not going to get it that day. So
it doesn't seem as bad as that in the UK at the moment.
Well, the UK because the United States isn't buying them up no more, because the United States is kind of like, we're still at that dire straits where if you don't go the day of the launch, you might not be able to get them. I think it just depends on the amiibo, but I think that we're in good shape. The other thing I'm kind of geeking out about is I'm actually going to, with this filming, I'm leading back into filming some stuff that I haven't been really doing videos that much lately. Like a lot of it's just been the podcast or whatever. So I'm going to start leading back into doing my videos that I used to do, like the videos and stuff like that. Like
I really enjoy watching those. You know what? Like when you went with Miguel to the comic shop, was that with Miguel? Yeah, and videos like that where you
that was the retro store. The
retro store. Yeah, that was it. Going to places like that, it's a nice sort of alternative video. Yeah.
Yes. So
and you need to put my Mario Maker video up.
I know.
It's got a Christmas level in it. It was really late.
It's okay. Listen, we can we can edit the Christmas level. No, I'm just kidding. It'll go up. Just relax. Now we're gonna kick into what we're playing. What are you playing, Toby?
Right. So I played a little bit of Mario and Luigi Paper Jam Bros. When's it out in the US? It's not out yet, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. Are you interested in that at all?
No, not at all. That's why I don't know. It's gonna be all over, but I'm like, no.
But I played Mario and Luigi Dream Team, which was a year or two ago now, and that was really good. But this one it feels like the same game. It starts like
the only one that I've played is Inside Bowser. That's it.
I haven't played that.
It was a good game. It was a good game, but it was just. It got to the point where it was just ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy the games. I like the combat. I love Paper Mario as well. And it's got similar combat to that. It's just like the world's a bit different, and it's all a bit, I don't know, it's got a similar sort of charm to Paper Mario. It's just a bit different. But the writing is really good in it. I haven't played it a ton yet, but it's, I'd say if you like Dream Team, then you'll love this. It's exactly the same, basically. It's just more of it. Other than that, I haven't really played any new games other than a bit more of Shovel Knight. I got to Plague Knight and beat him. His stage was a bit annoying.
Yeah. They get a little rough.
But it's good because with the checkpoints in Shovel Knight there's like 5 or 6 checkpoints per level, and even though you keep failing, you just make it a little bit further each time, and then you get to that checkpoint, and it's like, well, I've died like 10 times this level, but I can see I'm making progress, so I might as well just keep at it.
But when you get better, just so you know, when you get better, you'll start destroying those checkpoints.
Yeah, I haven't broke a single checkpoint yet.
The level before the actual first town, or maybe it's the first. It's the level that's above the first town. It's an easy level.
It's a gold castle one.
Yeah, I've played it so many times. And I've gotten so good at it that I'll go through and I'll just shatter every single checkpoint going through, because they give you a lot of jewels and money. So that's where you get into your grinding aspect. When you need money to buy armor or upgrade your armor, go back to those early stages and go through and take out those checkpoints. And when you're playing new stages, it's a little scary. You know what I mean? Because you're like, man, I'll lose all my money. But as long as you keep in your mind that, like, hey, this is where I died. As long as I get to there, I'll get all my money back, and you'll be fine. So you just keep that mentality and keep pushing forward.
Yeah. So I also play a bit of GTA Online with friends.
Of course.
But this time we did this new mode, right? Apparently it came out at Halloween, but we never played it for some reason. And what it is it's sort of, there's 5 or 6 different areas you can play in. And one person plays the slasher, right? So he's got a shotgun. And then the other guys are on a different team, and they haven't got any weapons. They've only got a flashlight. So you're thrown into this like interior area. It's like a building, or like the first area is it's like a slaughterhouse, but all the lights are off. So it's pitch black. and you've got to hide from the guy with the shotgun, and you've got 3 minutes to hide and survive. And then when that 3 minutes is up, you get given a shotgun, and you've got to go and hunt the slasher.
Oh,
and it is so much fun. And there's some areas that are just literally pitch black. And the thing is, if you shine your torch and they see that torch, they know where you are. So you've got like, a lot of time you've got to run around in the dark, like trying to avoid them.
Can you get hurt in the dark? Like, is there stuff?
No. The only way you can get hurt is by getting shot with the shotgun. So,
oh man, that's awesome.
And you can, when the slasher gets close to you, your controller starts to vibrate, and it vibrates more and more when they get closer. It's really scary, just sitting there in the dark.
That's funny.
And that was so much fun. But the problem is with that mode is we had to put our own rules on it, because when you're armed with a flashlight, you can run up to the guy with a shotgun and just start beating him over the head with the flashlight, and he's dead in like seconds because the flashlight acts as a weapon.
Yeah.
So we had to say, all right, you're not allowed to do that. You're only allowed to attack them with a shotgun or your fist, because you can beat them with a fist, but it takes forever to kill them.
Yeah.
So, but it was fun. Like the different areas is like you're in like a lab place, or then there's one where you're on a little yacht or a big yacht, and you can like get on the roof and stuff. And it's just so much fun, like just running around and hiding and then jumping out at them and stuff. But that was like a cool mode. So we can't wait to play that with you. So
that's gonna be fun, because you can imagine what I'll be screaming and yelling.
So what you've been playing?
Well, come on, you know what I've been playing.
Oh, I know what you've been playing.
Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm 25 hours in now. I am in love with this game. If I would have played this game at the beginning of December, I probably would have done a hard push to make this game of the year for me. But as it is now, it's really good. You know, you need to get in there and really start grinding away.
I do, yeah.
You know, it's basically for people that aren't sure about it. Once you get past the 40 hours, I mean the 40 minutes, the original 40 minutes of like the storytelling and all that stuff. Once you get into about the hour mark, the game really starts to. Once you can actually go out and start doing stuff on your own, the game gets really good. You know, you start off and you start dropping probes all over to open up your map so you can kind of see where you're going, or you can see what's in areas per se as you move up. That's a lot of fun. But now I'm in the part where I'm actually just taking on missions. The affinity missions can be a little daunting. They can be a little scary because you can never get out of them. So you're always thinking like, man, am I ready to take on this mission?
Yeah, it's just like a risk.
Yeah, and but at the same time, like, you know, it's part of the game. You just do it. You know, the story missions, they seem to be pretty easy so far. I've been breezing through them. Just being able to unlock them, though, that's the one thing I like, because I think that if people are complaining about that, like you have to do other things in order to unlock a chapter. But if they didn't do that, you would blow through the story and be done with the game easily. I feel within I'd probably be done the game now at this point. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But because they make you take on like one or two affinity channel missions, I was trying to say challenges, but missions in between, it makes you play more of the game. And sometimes when you don't want to jump into an affinity mission, you jump into one of the other missions. But what I like about those is you can just skip them. If you hit a part, like I was playing a part today, and I'm just going crazy. I've been working on it. I was working on it for like 2 hours. I got wrapped into this thing because it's basically going out and fetch. It's fetch missions. Rather than me, you know, going out and fetching, I'll just ditch it if I get bored with it, you know. But the funny thing is like it just doesn't. You don't feel like you get bored because the world is so massive, and anything you could see, you could go to. That's what's awesome about it. Like,
and it's beautiful as well.
Oh my, it's gorgeous. Even the mountains, like there's parts where you're jumping on the sides of the mountains, like looking for rocks to stand on to make your next leap and stuff to get to higher ground. It's just a lot of fun. It really is. I'm loving it.
I can't wait till I can't wait to find the time to really, you know, plow into it a bit more.
Yeah, and
like I said, I've only played a little bit, but
well, the one thing that we talked about yesterday was, thank God you pushed me to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3DS, because if I didn't play that, I wouldn't know the combat system, and I probably would have gave up. I really strongly urge people, like, learn the combat system. If you learn the combat system, you will excel at this game. You will love this game. You have to upgrade those moves. You know, you have to continue to upgrade those moves as time goes on to get them stronger and more powerful. But that's what's great about this as a JRPG. Most JRPGs, like, you have your party, you roll up to a monster, the monster moves, then you pick a move for your first character, your second character, your third character, your fourth character. You have to wait, they do their moves, monster retaliates, then you do the same thing. It's a long, tedious thing. With this, your characters, your party, they're attacking, they're doing their thing. You're attacking, but you're not limited to make a move, wait. You just keep clicking off your moves, you know, and it'll flash and show you which move is suggested to do, because it'll kind of link the moves together and it'll help the battle and it'll help you better. But I love it. I think it's great. The only thing that I'm curious if the Monando is in this.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. I wish it was, because I really did like that weapon.
Did you pick Shulk's voice as your character's voice?
No, I didn't, because you did, and I thought, you know. But I really feel like it was funny, because I was thinking this today. I think this is what Zelda U is going to be very similar to. I think that's why they went back to the wheelhouse and kind of like started. I think you're going to get into something like this where it's, you know, you have your missions, you go off and you do, and then your big story mode missions are going to kind of be tied behind your dungeons.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be like that.
Yeah, and I would love it. I would love it, seriously, if it was. You know, I think it'll be more action, you know, as opposed to the way this is, where characters are moving and you know, you're going to be more tied. You won't have a party. I don't think you'll have a party. It'll be a one person, and it'll be like you're attacking, hacking, and
slacking. Could you imagine, what if there was online multiplayer, though?
That would be awesome.
Where you could have a second Link join you in a different color tunic or whatever.
Yeah, that would be kind of like Triforce Heroes, where, you know, you get to
but better.
No, I know, but you go out and you party and stuff together. That'd be awesome. Yeah. I'd be all for it. Real quick, we're going to dip into our game of the year. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. If you want to really hear what we thought about all the games and all that stuff, go to the last episode. But at the end of last episode, there was a tie. So we left it to the Geek Guru Facebook group to vote on it. We gave them the two choices: Splatoon, SteamWorld Heist. Vote away for the week, and then the winner would be announced today, which we are now. Splatoon won. Splatoon basically ran away with it completely.
It really did. Yeah. Well, I think, how many votes did SteamWorld Heist get?
I think it only got one from you.
No, I think it got two. I think it was me and one other guy.
Okay.
I think so.
I didn't vote at all. That's what I stayed out of it. I don't know why Toby voted. He thought he was cool. Actually, I couldn't vote. It wouldn't let me vote.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't matter anyway, would it?
Yeah. Which I think that, you know, like I said, I think Splatoon deserved it. I think the only issues with Splatoon was the early going, you know, when everything kind of in the beginning, it was kind of like you were stuck with a couple of things. There are a few tweaks I like to see them make, but when the sequel hits for the NX, I think it'll be a great game, and I think that's what they need to keep doing. The only thing I would like to see them do is, like, let's take a hypothetical. Let's say that Splatoon hits the NX, let's say by year 3. If NX, in theory, lasts for 10 years, or somewhere in that area, 8 years, I just hope that for all those years, they continue to support this game.
I think if they are going to do a Splatoon for NX, it will be in the first or second year, because of how successful Splatoon is. I think they'll want to get a sequel right away.
I think so too, but I'm just trying to be like, I don't know how long it's going to take for them to do a turnaround and make maps, and it really shouldn't take long to make the maps. No. I think the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was no single player at all. If it just turned into a multiplayer game.
I would like if they did a single player.
Nobody talks about the single player. Like, whenever
I hear because it's quick. It's quick, and I don't think a lot of people know what is entailed to it. But I played the single player to completion. One of the best main bosses I've played in a long time. It's just such a Nintendo quality boss. The only thing that I wish they would have done, and which I wish they would do, is turn that into multiplayer and allow, like, you and a friend or a team
Co-op.
to do a raid. Like go in there and co-op a level.
You know what? I'd be more up for that than death matches.
Yeah, I that would be awesome. Seriously. So okay, so that's it. Congratulations to Splatoon.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Nintendo. We know you're listening to us, so we appreciate the support. Okay, so our biggest disappointment of 2015. We're basically gonna talk about our biggest disappointment, our most favorite thing of 2015, and then we're gonna kind of go into like what we're looking forward to in 2016. But let's start off with our disappointment. What is your number one disappointment for 2015?
I have to say, I think it's going to be Triforce Heroes on 3DS because it was kind of like for a while I've been wanting a sequel or another Zelda game in the style of A Link Between Worlds, and Triforce Heroes uses that art style, but it's nothing like that game. It's a multiplayer game. At its core, you can do the single player, but when I got it, I was sort of like held back by not being able to play with friends from other regions.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to play with Bobby and I couldn't do that. And when I did go online with strangers, the connections weren't great. Like the two games that I played at first, we got near the end, but then somebody left and it kicked us all out. And it was like, didn't complete the mission.
Yeah.
And there was like just little issues like that. And I tried playing it on my own, and it was okay. It was fun. Like working the puzzles out was fun, but it was more about being good, having good dexterity with your fingers, really, more than a puzzle game. And it isn't what I think Zelda should be. I think it was just sort of quickly put out, and it's a good idea, but I think they could have done much better.
I played the first week with Joshua Langton and Alvaro from the Geek Guru group, and I enjoyed it. I had fun. I just didn't have that major desire to keep going back. And Joshua all the time will tag me and be like, "Hey, you want to play?" And it's like I don't make the time to play. Like I do other stuff, like Splatoon and Xenoblade. Like I'm really like I'll make time to play those games because I love them. But with this, it's just like it feels like a chore, So that's sad. It's sad to be in that.
And also if you want to do local multiplayer, you need to have 3 people. You can't do 2 people and a computer controlled character, or even just a doppel. Like you can't have that. It makes no sense to me.
I know, it's weird. For me, I wrote down 3 because I wasn't sure what you guys were going to say at this point, but the one that just hit me now that that is probably Iwata's death. I feel like that was such a tragic thing because he's young, and it kind of. I think that Nintendo will be fine with him gone. I think that there's a possibility of them being better. I wasn't really truly a fan of some of his decisions in the last couple of years, but that said, that didn't mean that I wanted him to pass away or that I didn't like him. I did like Iwata a lot.
Yeah, I think that's what I take away from that as well. Is that just as a personality and a figurehead, like he's so likable in so many ways, and it's very rare to have someone like that in the industry, especially in his position as a president.
Like that's the thing. Like you have. It's funny because people will always take the knock at Nintendo and go like, "Oh, they're so closed door and they don't go out and go on different podcasts and talk to the fans and this, that, and the other." And that's true. That's very true. But he had such a quirky personality that when you did let him get in front of the people with the Nintendo Directs, he did goofy stuff and he really let his guard down. A lot of presidents. Yeah, they'll go talk and do stuff, but they won't show their true personality, and that's the one thing with him that I liked about him, like he really truly showed the world his personality and what he was all about. So
exactly.
And I think that's where Nintendo kind of got hurt a little bit. Yeah. Like if he would have stepped down as president and just been like maybe vice president or something, I think they would have still done great things. I think that if they would have probably put him in charge of the gaming side and let someone else, like what's it, Kizuka?
Oh, Tezuka. Is it?
No,
which one are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
The president.
Kimishima.
Kimishima.
Yeah, or Kimishima, whatever.
Kimishima. So if I wish that if like if they just put him in charge of the hardware stuff, and put because he seems like he really has a grasp on the hardware and what needs to happen, and he excites me as president. But it just, like I said, at the same time, like it just stinks that Iwata's not here with us anymore, and it's hard. It's really heartbreaking when you play a game like Yoshi's Woolly World and you beat it, and his name comes up last, and it's like, man, how many more times am I going to see this before it's gone? And it's kind of stinks. So, but it is what it is. It's part of life. There's not much we can do about it. But as far as 2015, what was your favorite thing from 2015?
My favorite thing of 2015. I have to say, there's no way I can't say it. Sony's E3 press conference was amazing for me, because it was
Shenmue.
That is what made this year the year of dreams, because not only did Sony unveil Shenmue 3 that's coming, Final Fantasy VII Remake, The Last Guardian is not dead. They didn't show much of it, but they showed something new, and like those three things, as well as games like Horizon Zero Dawn, like it I don't know, it just feels to me like at the moment Sony is on their A game, and they've got a lot of good stuff coming. And when you compared that to Nintendo's Direct and even Microsoft, like Microsoft had some good games, but it sort of just blew everyone out of the water, like for me, because I'm a big fan of those games that they unveiled. And I don't know, it's just, it makes me excited for what Sony's doing. And that was like the biggest gaming memory, like out of announcements and everything that happened in 2015. Like, so
mine would have to be this summer, when I got the opportunity to spend some time with Brian from Image and Form and actually demo SteamWorld Heist. He's a great guy. I got to learn a lot about him. I got to spend, a good 40 minutes just questioning him, asking him just about him, not about the game or anything like that. Like, I was just curious about the company and the game, where the games come from and the ideas and all that stuff. It just was a lot of fun, and then, and then we didn't even have the podcast at the time when I met them guys, and, and then and then demoing SteamWorld Heist. Like, I tell the story of, he was about an hour and a half away from me, drive-wise, and I had gone to a Comic-Con that day in the morning. Julius, who was back in Sweden, had messaged me, and we were talking back and forth, and he had said to me, like, hey, Brian is in North Jersey. Here's the address. Here's his phone number. Go see him. And I'm like, no, that's weird. Like, that's just, it felt awkward. And so I went to the Comic-Con. I got out. I called him, and he's like, dude, come up, man. I would love to meet you. Come up. I said, okay. So I drove an hour and a half away. I think it cost me $40 or something like that to actually go into the convention that he was in. It was a steampunk like convention. I'm the only idiot there dressed like in Batman stuff. And but I went in and I went in. He was like, when I introduced myself to him, because he had never met me, I had sent them guys a bunch of tweets, and he knew who I was per se, but he didn't know me. He immediately grabbed me, walked me over to SteamWorld Heist, kind of asked the people that were already on it to, like, could they, because they had been there for a while, could they let me get on, and they did. And he started going through everything with me, explaining everything with me, and the mechanics and all that stuff, like really taking the time to show me stuff. And he, and he told me some stuff that wasn't privy to other people. I was like, please don't tell people this, which I would never do. But I thought that was like, man, this guy's like trusting me with stuff.
And that is awesome, because at that time, like I said, we didn't have the podcast. I mean, you were making videos and
so I was doing videos at the time.
But in a way, it was like you were just a fan of their games, and and they said, come and see us and get a little bit of behind the scenes look at the game, and it's like, wow, like that doesn't happen like with a lot of companies,
Absolutely. So it was nice. It was also, and that's the day I actually watched Matt Foley beat Heist in like 26 minutes, and I was like, this is insane. Like, that blew my mind seeing all that.
Yeah,
like,
Steamroll Dig.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Steamroll Dig.
Yeah,
he beat Steamroll Dig in 26 minutes. And the crazy thing, like I said, we interviewed Image and Form. I think it's like our 5th episode in when it actually came.
That was a really good podcast.
Yeah, I loved it. And Matt gave me a stopwatch and was just like, here, time me. And it was just crazy. He's playing. It's like, I should be about 15 minutes in now. And I was like, I look at the stopwatch, dead on, 15 minutes. He's like, in a second, I should be crossing the 22-minute mark. And I'm like, boom, like clockwork. And I was like, this is insane. It totally changed my perspective of that game. Like, it's crazy. But so that was my favorite moment of 2015, was just to meet Brian, spend some time with them guys, and to get the demo Steamroll Heist, which it actually, what it did for me was I played it. That's why I went off track. I played it, came home, woke up the next day because I knew he was still up there showing the game and stuff. I almost drove back up there just to play the demo again because I loved it that much. Like, I thought, this thing, I want to play more of this game. And it really like messed me up, like where I was like, and then it just put me on this path of like, I couldn't wait for the game to hit.
Yeah.
So it was good stuff. Okay, so our most anticipated thing of 2016.
This is easy for me, this one.
Oh, I could tell you already. I know it's
really. I don't think it is.
You don't. You don't think I know?
No.
That's not it?
I was going to say that, but
I'm
actually more looking forward to Nintendo showing off what the NX is.
That's mine. Yeah.
Revealing that. All right. Well, you can have mine then. My old one.
I don't want your old one.
Fine. All right.
NX. Okay. That's fine.
So
we'll discuss a couple of things, but go ahead.
All right, fine. Yeah. So I don't know whether it's going to be at E3 or they're going to have their own direct or their own event or whatever. But when they finally show off what this mystery NX is, and we're all like shocked by it, because I don't think it's going to be what we all think it is. I think it's going to be something else. Either. And but yeah, like I just can't wait to see what, because a new console is always exciting to find out what it is, and Nintendo's in such a position now that they need this next one to be successful, like way more successful than the Wii U. So everyone's like, all eyes are on Nintendo to do well with this thing, and I just hope that they nail it. I hope they don't do something stupid and then just peter out or whatever. But I think that's going to be one of the most exciting things that happens this year.
I think, I'm with you. Like, that's the one thing. Like, part of me is excited because I'm like, I always get excited for new console launches, but I get really excited to hear what it's going to be. And when they announced the Wii U, I got excited because I was looking forward to something like that. Like, I thought, like, hey, this is kind of cool. It reminded me of a gigantic DS, and I thought, oh, this is awesome. Like, I like playing on my DS. So if I could play games with the map on there and all that stuff, and then I could play off screen, and the stuff they were showing I was into, I was like, this is pretty cool, and so it's kind of always got me excited to when they have big console announcements. This one has me excited because I just want to see the direction they're going to go. I know where I want them to go. It's just, will they go that way? And Nintendo is notorious for giving us what we don't know we want. They've done it all my life. They've always, with every console, it's been like, here, when I was a kid and I played the Atari 2600, it was a joystick with a button. That was the controller. So I was like, this is the only way to play. And then Nintendo comes out with that rectangular thing with the cross and the two buttons, and I was like, what is this? You know, like, and I played it, I fell in love. And then they changed the controller every generation. They constantly change the controller and manipulate stuff. While you look at PlayStation, you look at Xbox, it's the same controllers every year, you know, and that's the thing. Like, Nintendo's constantly evolving and changing things and doing different things. And, you know, like I said, I know where I want them to go. And I just always, my thing is when I grew up and I watched Nintendo get very aggressive with Sega and go after Sega, it was like amazing time for me. Like, as a kid, watching all that unfold and, you know, watching the ads, and you have the arguments at the lunch table with your friends, like, what's the best system? And, you know, that was always fun. That was always fun to do. And part of me just wants to see them take back what they own. You know,
yeah, it would be nice for people to start taking Nintendo seriously again.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, any conversation about what games are going to be on what console, or what games are going to be the best on which console, it's always between Sony and Xbox. Nobody talks about Nintendo, or they'll just laugh if someone mentions Nintendo. It's like, well, Nintendo, you're joking. Like, I want people to be like, yeah, Nintendo is a serious competitor, you know?
Yeah.
But I hope that they don't mess up the message of what this new console is, like they did with the Wii U, because people didn't know what the Wii U was at first. It took a long while for like the casual audience to realize it was a new console and not just an expansion. And even like that in Nintendo Direct where they unveiled it, I was a bit like, okay, so I kind of get what it is, but I'm not 100%. And it's like, if I'm like a hardcore Nintendo fan and I don't 100% get it or get what they're doing with it, then they really mess something up. So I just hope that they've got a new team and they understand their messaging and they've got good advertising and they've got the good PR going. That's what I want. I want them to just deliver this time. So.
I just want them to embrace technology and not tell us you don't need HD because HD is not that good. Like that type of stuff. Like, that's the messaging that they've done. And I was the idiot that goes, yeah, we don't need, who needs HD?
Yeah, I was like that as well.
Yeah. You know, I was always that person that always defended Nintendo completely. Like, whatever their messaging was, I followed it 110%. It wasn't until probably when I got the YouTube channel that I actually started looking at myself and going, man, am I really going down this rabbit hole where I just actually, yes, Nintendo. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Nah. And I think that I changed in the past couple of years where I'm just kind of like, I still love them. I still support them 110%. When the NX comes out, I'll have it day one. I'll have a bunch of accessories, all that stuff. Like, they have my money. They will always have my money. But at the same time, if I feel like they're doing something stupid, I'm going to call them on it, you know? And I don't want to be that Sega fan that their console goes away and now the only way to get it, one of their franchise games is, you know, go to one of the other consoles. And that's not what I want at all. I don't want to have to buy an Xbox to get the latest Zelda game or buy a PS5.
That was another example of one of my disappointments, to go back, is the way that Tomb Raider was exclusive to Xbox for a year. And it's like, oh, I'm not just going to buy an Xbox just to play this game. And if something like that happened to Nintendo games, like, that'd be the saddest day. Like, you know, having to have a specific console to play a Nintendo game on that's not a Nintendo console. I mean, I don't know how I'd feel about that, but shall we talk about our other thing that we're excited for, that everyone should be excited for?
Yes.
And I've seen this a lot. I've been watching a lot of the most anticipated games of 2016 lists, and every list I've watched has had Zelda U on it. And we've seen so little of that game though, and I don't know what they're doing with it. I don't know, because they delayed it for another year, and it's like, that's a big delay. It's not like a few months. That's like a whole year. I mean, they haven't said a release date yet, but you know it's not going to come out till November, December. You know,
if it hits,
if even, it might even be pushed back again. So they've got to be doing something drastic. I mean, like we was talking about earlier, maybe they're going to add a multiplayer.
Well, the only thing that I get, the only thing that has my interest peaked is this. And this is where I think they might have taken. Okay, so let me get my thoughts in check here. They said originally they were supposed to launch 2015. They promised. They said it'll hit 2015. Now that was in June of 2014. So in 2014, they said.
Was that when they first unveiled it?
They announced it at E3 of 2014. They said 2015. They just said 2015. 2015 it'll hit. Everybody kind of thought like, okay, the end of the year 2015. So then we hit the fall of 2014, and they just come out and go, we're delaying it for another year. It won't be here till 2016. Ultimately, you gave yourself 2 years, more or less, to finish the game. Now, if you were telling people that we were a year away from finishing, a year away from completion, and, you know, more or less, you look at that and you go, okay, they have to be very far along to be able to say, like, originally, like, hey, this is the release date. I don't think Nintendo's the type of company to be like, to do what Rocksteady did and go, Arkham Knight will be here, you know, in September. Oh, no, October. Oh, no, February. Oh, no, June. Like, that's not Nintendo.
No,
if Nintendo says, like, this is the original date, they're pretty close to completing that game.
Yeah, so something has changed.
And I think, and that's where I go back to the Xenoblade conversation, is I feel like the game was complete, per se, a Zelda game. A Zelda game of, here's your temples, here's what you do, you go through it. But I think they realized, because it's an open world, they needed to put more in there for people to enjoy it and like it. And I think that's where they said, okay, we need to start pushing and start doing all this stuff. So I think that's where, as time went on, you started to see them, or you're going to start to see them incorporate some of the stuff from Xenoblade, where you'll go into a village and someone will be like, hey, can you help me? And then you could run off into some mission to go do something to help someone find their dog or whatever it might be. Like, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe there's a monster that's eating the crops and you got to go kill the monster or whatever. Like, that's the stuff I see them now leading into. And if they do that, if they give us a game like Xenoblade, where you're basically, you have your 8 temples that you have to take out in order to get your fragments for the Triforce or whatever it might be, and then you go on ultimately to fight Ganon or whatever the enemy is at the end, whoever the enemy is at the end. But in the meantime, you could spend hours playing all these other little missions. Sign me up. Like, that to me would be the ultimate game. And I mean,
you think a Zelda game is usually around the 20 hours mark. It's not massive like other open world games can be, but like, now it's open world, this game could potentially turn into a 60 or 100-hour game if it's got enough side stuff to do, like you were saying. So, and I really hope
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I really hope that they add some element that you can just keep doing stuff, keep finding new stuff to do. Like, you know, you go from one village, you get told that you've got to take something to another village. When you get there, something else happens, something's on fire, you've got to go and get some water and put it out or whatever. Like, just sort of emergent gameplay, as people say. Like, you know, not like in Red Dead. In Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be on your horse going somewhere, then there's a carriage that's being attacked and you've got to protect it. And like, just stuff like that, if that had just happened naturally as you're wandering around the game, then that'd be brilliant, I think.
Yeah.
But then I question if they've delayed it as well because they want it to come out on an NX as a launch title. I don't know if that comes into the delay or not, but it would make sense.
I don't know that they delayed it that long because of that. I think that...
I mean, that's what it'd be like 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, but I think they delayed it before the NX was even thought about, you know, because they delayed it in like the fall, and then it was February this year that NX even got brought up by Iwata at that DNA conference.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that's the potential of where we're going. I think that it's more or less like, I don't know. I just don't think that the two coincide. I would like it to be on NX.
Yeah.
I would buy it on NX over the Wii U. I'll be honest with you.
Why wouldn't you? If it's a more powerful, more capable, more modern console, like
absolutely,
why not?
Absolutely. But I'm just saying, like for me, because I plan on getting an NX day one, I would.
Yeah.
But I think you said it best. I remember you leaving a comment on a conversation on Facebook one time, and I remember you saying, like, you're telling me that I buy a brand new Nintendo console, and day one I could buy a Zelda game. Sign me up. And when I heard you say that, I was like, I agree. Sign me up tomorrow. You know, if and I keep going back to this and saying, like, if you could give me a Zelda game, if you could give me Mario Maker, if you could give me Splatoon, all day one, I'm in. I'm in. I'm so, you know, it would be one of the best launch titles that you could ever give people. Like, that would win so many people over, because you got the hardcore fans with Zelda, you got the hardcore fans with Mario, and then you have all the casual and hardcore fans with Splatoon. I think that's the way to do it. You know, they got to, even if Splatoon is basically just the same game as you have already, just on the NX, maybe better graphics, maybe a couple extra maps, whatever. Maybe it's a Game of the Year edition or something, you know, like do something crazy with it. Maybe they say, like, hey, this is the original game. We've added 5 new maps, whatever, and here's a bunch of gear.
And here's voice chat.
That would be awesome too. But I think we're going to see. I think we'll see voice chat on the NX. I think
so.
I really think that I think that a game like Minecraft is going to start showing people that. The crazy thing is with Minecraft, I want to do voice chat. I don't have a headset for it, and I can't find. You can't find them nowhere. You can't. No, they had one. Turtle Beach put out one for the Wii U originally. Nobody bought them, right? So because they didn't have voice chat, there was no need to have them, so they stopped making them. Now you can't find them. Everywhere you go, they're sold out, and it's like, this is crazy. This is crazy that there's finally a game.
Thinking about it, like, I wouldn't even know where to plug it in. You know,
your gamepad.
Yeah, but like, does it go in the headphone slot or what? Like,
I would. Yeah,
that's the thing, because I've never done it. I never thought about doing it. I've never even bothered looking at the controller to see where you would do it. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think Minecraft needs to come over day one. You know, like, I think that game still has legs. That game still is a powerful.
Man, Minecraft is ridiculous. Like, I wonder if they're even thinking about making a Minecraft 2, because Minecraft won't stop. Like, people don't get sick of Minecraft, so why bother making a Minecraft 2? Like,
exactly. So, I think we're pretty much at the end. We don't.
Yeah, really, I think so.
We pretty much talked about what we had to talk about and did all that stuff. So that is all. Thank you guys for watching us. If you watch us on YouTube, listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. We sincerely appreciate all the support you guys have been giving us.
Yeah, and you know what? It's Bobby's birthday in just over a week. So if you want to give us a message or something for me to read out on the next podcast, then I'd love to do something like that. So you can contact me on Twitter at @Toby's_take. Send me a direct message or whatever, and we'll sort something out.
Okay. You hear the crickets? That's all you're going to get. So
people care, Bobby. People love you.
The people don't love me. They tolerate me. So you can follow me Instagram, Twitter at the Geek Gurus. Toby already said his is Toby's_take.
Yep.
That is all. Peace, mother.
Bye.